Good morning, San Diego. Good to see you on this Wednesday, August 16th. Now on to a special report. San Diego County is getting ready to commit millions of dollars to build more affordable housing. One nonprofit's proposal is already getting a boost from County Supervisor Ron Roberts. A San Diego-based warship has now left Singapore after coming to the aid of the USS John McCain. It is time for Aztec football, but when San Diego State takes the field this Saturday, it'll be at a no-name stadium. A vigil was held for the two people who are believed to have drowned in a car crash in Otay Lakes. An Escondido man is in custody this morning after he tried to kidnap a 15-year-old girl. County supervisors have declared a state of public emergency because of the deadly hepatitis A outbreak on our streets. San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer and the mayor of Tijuana are expected to meet today and call for support for an update to a binational agreement. Do you love Iron Man or Captain America? Thor? The Hulk? Come on, Carlos. No, I see there is no pleasing you. It's time for Summer Shakespeare in the Park at the Old Globe Theater at Balboa Park, and a fellow is here, Blair Underwood. Oh my gosh, what an exciting day it was. I know some of you may think that Shakespeare is a total snooze fest. I get it, but trust me, when Blair Underwood is in the lead role, it's anything but. What's up, Buckets?
You know what?
How are you, man?
Another day on the job, spinning the basketball.
What's so
KUSI
real?
News, so real, it hurts. Can't do that. Not in America.
Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens, producer Teresa, when you ask Carlos to stretch. He says something like that. Bravo!
Wow,
Hey!
fantastic.
We're all back.
What a talent.
Everybody's back.
You win Miss America.
I hope she's in the classroom right now not watching this.
All right, let's get a check of your morning news now. One man is dead after leading police on a chase in La Mesa. This happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. Police attempted to stop a car on Alvarado Road near the Motel 6, but the driver, with 3 passengers inside, kept going. As the chase came to an end in Lemon Grove, shots were fired, resulting in 1 death. One suspect was arrested, another still on the run. A Chula Vista homeowner called the police after discovering a squatter was living in his home. This happened just after 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Apparently, the owner showed up to check on his property, which is up for sale, when he realized the air conditioner was on. The owner also noticed doors that were closed that should have actually been open, and he heard the shower running. That's when he called the police and had the intruder arrested. But get this, this was not the first time that that particular man had been in the home. Let's get you updated on your morning news right now. A 16-year-old boy is in custody this morning. Police believe he killed a man in Oceanside. This happened at 10 o'clock on Tuesday night at the Melba Bishop Park. Police say the suspect fatally shot 49-year-old Martin Swan as he was walking his dogs. He then shot himself, according to police, in the leg before he ran away. Hours later, according to the cops, he showed up at a hospital to be treated for his gunshot wound. His name is being withheld because he is a minor and it is unknown why he fired. Police are asking for your help to identify and find a man and woman who broke into an Encinitas jewelry store. According to the police, the suspects broke into the Three Sisters jewelry store last week and stole about $30,000 worth of jewelry. The female suspect has been identified as Lily Coelho. Here is a picture of the white pickup truck, according to the police, that the couple used. It has a black stripe along the bottom, as well as black rims. If you have any information about this couple or the truck, please call police. An Escondido man is in custody this morning after he tried to kidnap a 15-year-old girl. Police say the attempted kidnapping happened about 7:30 yesterday morning on the 600 block of Linwood Street. The girl was walking to Orange Glen High School when police say 28-year-old Edgar Gutierrez grabbed her. She apparently fought him off and the suspect took off running. That young girl was able to flag down some people nearby for help. They followed him and took pictures of him along the way. Gutierrez was located by police a few hours later and arrested. Let's get you updated on your morning news right now. The man accused of shooting an off-duty sheriff's deputy about a month ago is under arrest. Ray Patel was arrested on the outskirts of Tijuana yesterday. He's accused of shooting Deputy Jason Philpott in the gas lamp area back in August. Apparently, Patel got into some sort of altercation with the off-duty deputy, and that's when the shots were fired, hitting that deputy in the shoulder. The 37-year-old is currently booked into San Diego County Jail on 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Suspects involved in a well-organized theft ring based right here in San Diego will appear before a judge today. Police say over the past decade, The band of thieves stole more than $20 million worth of goods. They stole those goods from high-end shopping malls across the U.S. and sold those goods in Mexico. Agents confiscated about $30,000 in cash and dozens of trash bags full of clothes and goods. Look at those designer clothes. They found it all in Lemon Grove and Chula Vista. A total of 22 people were charged in connection with this ring. A man is under arrest after trying to rob a home in Escondido. This happened just after 1 o'clock this morning on Highland Valley Road. Police say the man knocked on the front door claiming to be chased by someone and wanted to call a taxi. He then somehow let himself into the house. That's when the owner shot him with a rifle. Police then arrived and arrested him. He was taken to the hospital for his injuries. No one in the house was hurt. The body of a fallen Marine has returned home to San Diego. His final burial will be at Miramar National Cemetery on Friday, but first, there was a special procession in his honor. Here's Dan Plant with more. All right, we'll get back to Allie in just a little bit. You know, the homeless issue is a huge issue here in San Diego. Council President Pro Tem Mark Kersey is supporting a plan proposed by two businessmen to help fix that issue, at least temporarily. The San Diego Padres managing partner, Peter Seidler, and restaurateur Dan Shea want to start by putting up these industrial-sized tents as temporary shelters. The businessmen say their plan can provide all the basic needs for these homeless if the city is willing to jump in and help with the supportive systems required. Let's talk about this because Councilmember Mark Kersey is here to talk about why he supports this plan. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
Okay, so first of all, these two gentlemen say they will pony up the money. This like 800 grand per tent. They're going to pony up the money for the tent, but the city needs to jump in with one, a place to put these tents, and two, the money for these supportive things to keep these people going. How do you do that?
Well, we've got locations that have been utilized in the past. We used to have a temporary winter shelter. You know,
not to mention the hepatitis A outbreak that is happening as a result of all of this as well.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about the thousands. I was just looking at the latest study. Unsheltered homeless, as of the latest count, about 5,600 people unsheltered and another 3,500 in shelters. These tents, according to Dan and Peter, would only house about 500. So what do you do with the rest of them?
Well, I think if the model works, you potentially build more.
I would suggest that as well. But the question comes back to where? I mean, these are huge tents, and there's not even enough room in San Diego for anybody, let alone these enormous tents in big, urban areas. So I question where.
Well, it's not that you're necessarily going to put, 5,000 unsheltered people, all of them in tents.
Okay, so let's go back to the tent issue that Dan and Peter are suggesting. Because under that proposal, they are also saying it would cost the city about $17 a day, right, to have the adequate things around, the supportive systems around these homeless when they're in the shelter. So I did a little math. I'm a journalist. I'm not a mathematician, but I did some pretty simple math here. $17 a day, about 30 days, for about 500 people, about $255,000 a month to support these people. If you're going to do it for 6 months, that's $1.5 million. Where are you going to come up with $1.5 million just for a temporary solution?
Well, I think we're going to have to find the money. We've got money in the Housing Commission, which is exactly set up for this kind of thing.
Mark Kersey will be following this issue. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. Earlier this year, San Diego Unified claimed to have record-breaking graduation rates. Professional skateboarder Ryan Sheckler is hosting his 10th annual golf tournament. It helps a lot of really great people. He had it here last year. He's having it at Dana Point this weekend, and he is here. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so before we get to the golf tournament,
Yeah.
which is super important, and there are lots of things and lots of ways you can help, I want to talk about why you decided to do this huge donation to the Harvey victims in Houston.
I mean, it's because I'm a human,
Yeah.
and I feel compassion, and I feel love, and they're in a situation that is so devastating and so foreign to anything that they've ever been through.
Not only that, which I know we had a picture of all those, you know,
Yeah,
big
it was
crates sent out
crazy,
there.
crazy
That's a
amounts.
logistical nightmare, but you were able to make it happen.
I mean, God is great. You know, we got it out there the next day.
Good for you. Congratulations on that. So let's talk about the golf tournament. Why
Yeah.
did you take it away from San Diego? Why
You
did you
know,
move it to Dana Point?
We have to give it a little bit of a move here and there, but this is our 10th year, and it's absolutely crazy that we've been around for 10 years. And
Okay, so the golf tournament this weekend, Dana Point will have all the information on KUSI.com if you want to join. Now, I want to talk about you. What's happening with you? Are you still competing? What's up with you?
yeah, I'm competing. And I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable right now. I'm very happy with my life. I'm ready.
My goodness. Well, you'll have to come back and show us the progress
yeah.
of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people obviously follow your skateboarding career, obviously, but I think a lot of the mainstream folks are not real skateboard people.
Which is all right.
Knew you from, I mean, at least I did, from the MTV show.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still get
almost
questions
10
about
years.
it? Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Let's just put it up just real quick. I found a clip. I just
No,
want to show
no.
some.
All right.
Hold on. All right, good luck with that pain.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
that's
All
gonna be
right.
brutal.
So the Ryan Sheckler golf tournament is this weekend.
Yep.
We want to see you again as you prepare for the Olympics. That
Oh,
would
yeah.
be awesome
I
to
can't
have
wait.
you back. Good luck with all of that this weekend and with that and with what you're doing for the people in Houston. Thank you for
so
that.
much.
And thanks for your time.
I know.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Looking at Mission de Alcalá is like looking back in time, back to 1776 when Father Junipero Serra walked these grounds in San Diego, a man who almost 250 years later will become a saint.
It is news no one had expected it. I think the canonization process has been going on for 80 years, and as Pope Francis is often able to do, completely surprises the world.
In the mid-1700s, Father Serra was ordered by the Spanish king to claim what would later be known as California before the Russians or the English. He was to turn the Native Americans who were already here into Spanish citizens and Christians. At the age of 56, with a bad leg, Father Serra walked from Mexico north as far as San Francisco Bay, establishing 9 missions along the way. His first was right here in San Diego.
This corner is the original corner because the mission expanded further, you know, in length, and
width.
the original Adobe church was about a size that barely fit 10 to 12 kids. So it must not have been very big.
Today, that mission is thriving. Monsignor Richard Duncanson is the pastor responsible for carrying on Father Serra's work to minister to the monitored congregation of thousands, but also with the help of special archivists and volunteers to preserve Father Serra's artifacts and relics that remain, history that most never get to see. Like this bone fragment belonging to the soon-to-be saint, a relic kept in a hidden place. And this,
Well, we have the sacramental books.
tucked away in a fireproof filing cabinet, docent Tony Falcone reveals handwritten books by the man known as the evangelizer of the West. This is documentation of the first baptisms here, which basically also gives us a history of the first San Diegans.
That is correct. You have a chronological history of the conversions and the evangelization of the Padres in San Diego area.
They're written in a mixture of Spanish, Latin, Catalan, and Castilian. You can even see this entry, signed by Father Serra on September 23, 1776, with his special fingerprint, also known as the rubrica. Thousands of names and descriptions of California Native Americans follow, one by one documenting their conversions by Father Serra and his Franciscan Padres.
Primary source documents, and even on the very practical level, many during recent years have come to prove the fact that they're descendants of Native Americans.
But some of those descendants take serious issue with the Pope's decision to elevate Father Serra to sainthood. Many squarely blame him for killing off their population by bringing European diseases to the tribes, for what some describe as abuse, and for wiping out their culture and way of life. I spoke candidly with the Monsignor about the concerns of the Native Americans. What would you say to them?
I completely understand. Like I said before, if I were Native American, if I were not Christian and Catholic, I think I'd have a very difficult time understanding how Father Serra is such a wonderful role model. For those of us who have the gift of Christian faith, of us practicing the Catholic faith, Father Serra is a great role model in terms of witnessing to his faith and sharing his faith. But for others who don't have that gift of faith, the arrival of the Spanish missionaries brought about this decimation of their population, and I understand why that would be a great source of sorrow.
But he says just because the church deems someone saintly doesn't also mean that person is perfect.
When somebody's declared, a member of the Hall of Fame in any sport, it's not to say they didn't make any mistakes playing the game, but they played the game better than others.
From his humble home in Mallorca, Spain, Father Serra rose through the ranks of the Catholic Church, becoming a great scholar, a great explorer and evangelizer, a man who stands as a founding father of California in this rotunda in our nation's capital, next to President Ronald Reagan. Though he stands tall on Capitol Hill, the truth is Father Serra was a small man, only 5'2" and 110 pounds. By all accounts, he preferred his beloved missions to any political power. His life-size statue remains in the garden at Mission de Alcalá with his famous motto inscribed at the bottom, Siempre adelante, nunca atrás, always forward, never back. Lisa Remillard, KUSI News.